Hello, everyone. This is Cedric for CR Wrestling Commentary. I'll be giving my thoughts on Impact Wrestling. But first, I want to give the update that it's been five days since taking Paxlovid, which is 5 days after realizing that we have COVID. After the in-home test, it's the Omicron B5 variant. That's what we had. So basically it's the one that is basically a weaker strain of COVID, but it seems to be far more contagious. So basically reduce how severe it can attack to allow it to spread, weaken your immune system, so then you know what of COVID it is, because it is a variant. It can tear you apart then, or if you get COVID again while you have it, it'll be really bad. So got sick and reported to the hospital, to the clinic, and then after that it was another doctor, and then prescribed Paxlovid, and for 5 days taking it every 12 hours. Can't have garlic, couldn't have I think cholesterol medications, stuff like that. So yeah, it was a thing. It's like I could just say it's like having the flu. It took 3 years, but we finally got this. It was letting the defenses down here. I can best assume it could have come from my daughter's school, where they aren't wearing masks and they're just talking. But so far, any COVID or Omicron cases, we don't know how many there has been. Here we order pizza, so since there's no mask mandates, they don't wear masks. So on 2 occasions where pizza was ordered, normally I would point the fan out the door, so whatever spittle or whatnot comes from them, the fan will blow it out back at them, and it's been working. And then the last 2 times ordering pizza, we didn't do that. I didn't say anything, and I should have spoke up. I should said, "Hey, don't open that door without the fan," pointed out and all that, but no, didn't do that. And then we're sick, so the best assumption is that it came from the pizza delivery people. Papa John's would be this one, but it wouldn't matter where it's from, because no one has to wear a mask, because children, if you don't make them, they won't do it. Screw your health, screw their own health and whatnot. So okay, let's get on my thoughts on Impact Wrestling. I watched it, the last 2 shows, because Zimbo times 2 was very he spoke about it highly. I remember at one point he was like, "It's not good, yada yada," and now he spoke highly of it. And that was some time ago in the summer. So running out of stuff to watch, I was like, okay, let me test it out, let me see it, because my normal thoughts about Impact Wrestling is that and I got the mic really close to my mouth. I got a mask on because too much dry, cool air causes me to cough violently, so I got the mask on, and I got the microphone clipped to the bottom of the mask in front of me, so if I'm too loud, I do apologize. But I don't have the strength to project my voice like I normally would, so I can't do commentary for CR Fire Pro. And I'm doing it for this because it's been a long time, and I think y'all deserve some kind of content. So my thoughts on TNA at first were the show. The arena's small, the venues are small, the ring seems small. The wrestlers look lonely. I'm not thoroughly familiar with all of the wrestlers, but when it comes to good wrestling, you'll want to be familiar. So That's that. So I decided to watch, and I'm gonna say that so far the female division, the women's division, it seems, I mean, they got good talent. The backstage people that they got to work on the show, these are people that know pro wrestling. When it comes to they're doing it. I like the production style. They're doing it better than any other. I watched some WWE, but I can't remember when. But it's just, glam and glitter for WWE, and I'm not going to watch them until it's been about a month, maybe half a month. I'm listening to Jim Cornette. I'm listening to a few others, and I'm waiting to hear these changes. I'm sure Triple H wants to bring it back to pro wrestling, instead of the Vince McMahon entertainment system. So I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Triple H, but I think that he wants to see pro wrestling, and he also wants to see the future of pro wrestling, which is the one thing that Vince McMahon and others never did. They never invested in the future of pro wrestling. They invested on what was hot, and they stuck with them without building anyone else up. That's the problem with, being conservative in anything. You don't want change. You just want it to be what it is and where it is. And, you got to accept change is going to happen. And when I mean change, people are aging out. That doesn't mean you have to accept garbage wrestlers. It doesn't mean you have to accept people in wrestling that have adopted more of the indie style, which is really a hodgepodge of, we all like this stuff, but we don't know how to finish anything. I'm just hoping that Triple H can bring professional wrestling back to WWE, and ultimately take the E out of it. I watched TNA, and Jordan Grace, I love the way she looked, but keep pushing aside her inane thoughts on Twitter and whatnot. I don't like that she spilled the beans on herself, and I don't like that because it kills the suspension of belief. It's one thing to know wrestling is a work. It's worse to know that the entire match has been planned out. So when she's in there in the ring, I know that her and her opponents and her partner or whatnot, and the ones on the outside of the ring, everything is going to go according to plan. There's no calling it on the spot. There's no reading the room and trying to see what they're going to like, which I'm going to have to mention that for Impact as well. But I don't like knowing that everything is pre-programmed down to the letter. It makes me bored of them. So I'm not saying, I'm not one of those people that says this girl is dumb, so I don't like all of them. No, Jordan Grace is not a bright bulb, but that's just her. I won't demonize everyone else based on her. I like Tasha Steelz. I like her. And I think I like Jessica. So that just in general, I like the women's division. I like who's in it. So I like how they wrestled in the ring. Honestly, I'm gonna say this, for what I've seen, the women make a lot more sense than the guys. Despite Jordan Grace's matches being 100% basically scripted, it looks better than the guys. It sucks, but it do. And it sucks because everyone should look equally good. But now when it comes to the guys, I'm not happy with one person because it brings down the show. And I get it. You want your show to entertain all sorts of fans. But when you have a guy that only cares to work one way, you kill everything surrounding them and you bring down their opponents. Sami Callihan, I am not a fan. Everything with him has to be garbage, barbed wire, hardcore. It's got to do that. It's got to be bleeding. He's the John Moxley of them. It's just, I don't like him. Sami Callihan, when it comes to being, just watching him without the hardcore, without the BS, I would think he'd be very entertaining and believable. It just, during his attacks, the trash he's talking, the expression of pain that he's going through, it's like, wow, great job. But then he has to gum it up. It has to be this and that. And I'm tired of seeing him work with Moose doing stupid stuff. Moose should be like almost their golden boy. I mean, the guy, Moose, is exceedingly versatile and powerful. He is at the perfect height, weight, and build to do anything. And they don't use him like that. He's just wrapped up into this crap. It was nice. I really enjoyed seeing Time Machine. I have waited for a while to see these three get together with no jealousies, no BS, nothing like that. I enjoyed it. Kushida and Shelly had a great match that should have main evented Music City Mayhem, but instead it was that garbage crap with Despy and Goon. But the men's division ain't bad. Their Kurt Angle ripoff, he's all right. What's his name? Josh Alexander. I mean, I'm too busy doing a lot of other stuff, so I don't stare and watch the screen, but I do listen, and out the corner of my eye, and sometimes I can see stuff, and it lets me know where they are in the stages of the match. I will give you an example of what turned bad. Time Machine. What they did was, okay, they're in there with Violent by Design, and I think that Eric Young will always be an amazing heel. I love Eric Young. He's almost the you can do no wrong. I like Vincent. I don't know how they formed up with the Kingdom, the Righteous and the Kingdom, and then they're Honor No More or something. I don't know how that came to be. Maybe someone can explain it, and hopefully it's logical, because that was a nasty, crazy, bitter rivalry. But Chris Sabin was the one they got heat on, and they whooped up on him. He sold properly. I was believing it. Chris Sabin is awesome. I just don't like that. Even though he was trying to get the hot tag and it was stopped. he he was stopped, and then they beat on him some more, and then although he's supposed to be selling and ailing and hurt, when it came time for the Motor City Machine Guns double team, he had a burst of continuous speed and rejuvenation just so instantly. I didn't like that. And then he's trying to power up, which that's the Japan thing. He's trying to show that he's back, and then he gets shut down, and he looks like he can't go on, and then he rejuvenates and more double team, and he's staying in there when the smartest thing that they could have done is once they were all in the ring and cleared the other team out, it would have been good for Kushida or Shelly to get out and get Saban to tag, and then Saban can do some stuff. But Saban was hurt up, he was beat down, and he should have continued to sell that. You got to sell the whole match. You got to be able to work your way around things and say, look, he's, I'm too beat down, I can't do this, y'all do that, get that done, and still win the day. That's what you do. You're supposed to make the people believe you're doing what you're doing. It's like he was more focused on hyping the crowd than, getting the crowd to feel for him. I thought that's what that, I thought that was the grand mistake. I'm trying to ward off a cough. I don't feel like muting it. So, although that was the first time teaming together, they look great together. I want to see them more. I would like to see them in AEW, and just not in the first, but maybe the third or fourth title defense of the trios belts, so they could win them, because Time Machine would be great champions. But Impact Wrestling, for these 2 episodes I saw, going on the overall I've all seen of AEW and or listened to, Impact Wrestling is something I'm going to watch because it's better than AEW. I know Kenny Omega wants to do the whole, we're going to have something for everybody, and I know Impact Wrestling is doing that as well. I get that. But the crowd is going to love what the crowd is going to love. And when it came to Impact crowd, just like some AEW crowds, some aren't there. And it's for good reason. And I appreciate the crowd not being there for those reasons. But Impact Wrestling, they was cheering everything. And I wonder if some of them were paid to cheer everything. And the thing is, if you're a wrestler and you're in that ring, there is a different tone and different level of cheering and jeering when it's, are they cheering for you or are they cheering for the moves? You want them cheering for you and wowed by the moves. You want them to hate you if you're a heel. You want them to feel sorry for you and cheer for you and your comeback as a baby face. If they are silent when you are selling, if they are silent when you're getting beat on, and they only pop or come up when a move is done or a high impact move is done, they don't care about you. They don't care about that match. They just want to see the moves. And you have to re-educate your fans to care about the wrestler, not the moves. Sell the match. Sell the pain. Make sure the villain is a villain. Make sure the Powerhouse Hobbs, people are going to like him no matter what. It's going to be hard for them to boo him. If Powerhouse Hobbs can get the fans to boo him consistently, that's going to be a feat. When people see subpar wrestling, subpar drama and whatnot, and then they start seeing something that seems to be the real deal, it is hard for them to be angry and hate you when they're so happy to finally see something that makes sense. That's why a lot of heels get cheered, because they're obviously doing something right and the fans are just happy sometimes. And then sometimes you got people that no matter how popular they want to think they are, when the fans don't boo them, when the fans don't cheer them, and they only come up here and there for certain moves, it lets you know that you have done something completely wrong. They don't care about you. They don't like you. They don't hate you. And they barely care about your moves. You have become toxic at that moment. That is when you need to realize that. Take a step back and reflect. Drop your pride, drop your ego, drop your cover up of shame, examine it for real. And if you got to reinvent yourself and alter your style, work on it. It's worth it. It's worth it. That's what I think. So Impact Wrestling, Zimbo ×2. Thank you for suggesting. This has been a while. Hopefully this is enough. I'm starting to run out of breath here. I'm gonna have to just be silent for a bit and just get it all back. But I want to say thank y'all for listening, and for those that cared, thank you. I got some downvotes on my videos. I know I had to change things, but as much as there is CR Fire Pro is true about the COVID, there's also, there's a bit of kayfabe going when it comes to, obviously, Daigo Shoots the Hotel and the fans and yada yada, all that. So, in other words, keeping it 100. I do have Omicron B5, and so the show operates accordingly. It's what you do. You sell the whole thing or nothing at all. It means I just might be way better outside of this moment at kayfabe than the majority of wrestlers out there. And if you're a wrestler and you're hearing me and you're offended, then I encourage you wholeheartedly, prove me wrong. You go out there and you do it right. Sell the match. Don't get these bursts of energy like nothing happened. Sell the match. Work it. Work the crowd. Show them that they need to care about you. Or show them they need to hate you by beating on the one they should care about. Let the one they care about make a comeback and see how it go. It's all good. This has been Cedric Kennedy for CR Wrestling Commentary. My thoughts on Impact Wrestling. You all take care. See you next time.